Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport. And today we're bringing you the build-up to Man City versus Chelsea. Conor, Man City at home again against another rival, you could say. But, this is normally known as the money match, with the teams known for spending a lot of money on players over the last decade or so. But it's just one of those games, Conor, where I just feel Man City are just going to have another easy... Well, not an easy game, but they're going to get the result at the end of it all.
Yeah, arguably they're playing Chelsea at the right time. Their form's a bit of ooh and ah at the moment. Recent 4-0 defeat away from home against Bournemouth. But then a good 5-0 win and victory at the weekend against Huddersfield with Hazard and Higuain looking strong and getting a brace each. So Chelsea are coming a bit to and fro, really. Not really playing the best football, but it's definitely progressing now that Higuain's at the club and it looks like he's gradually settling in to the team. City, on the other hand, good 3-1 victory against Arsenal last weekend. And of course, we're recording this before they play against Everton during the midweek. So depending on the results, what happened in the Liverpool and West Ham game on Monday, as well as the Everton City game, City could find themselves in first place come the weekend. So I'm sure the viewers will know what the situation is in that case there. But in case of any point, whether or not they're first or second, City are in great form, managed to bounce back really after those terrible losses really over the Christmas period against Crystal Palace, as well as the most recent one against Newcastle too. So it's definitely looking like City are back on the mends and ready to give this title race another strong go at it.
I was going to say, because if they somehow didn't pick up 3 points and Liverpool do against West Ham, so we're recording this before the West Ham game on Monday night, and then they play on the weekend, do you sense that this could... Because even Pep Guardiola said after the Newcastle game, well, he said it after the Arsenal win, but he said after they had lost to Newcastle, he believed... if they beat Leicester, Liverpool, then he reckons the title race was over.
Yeah,
so it just shows one mistake, and if Liverpool win next time, it could be over.
It does show as well that City are pretty much playing in a situation of mind games with Liverpool, already orchestrating it into a point where Liverpool are ahead, so therefore the ball is in their court, and it's up to them to whether
pressure's on them.
The pressure's on them to win the title because City are playing catch up, and they'll forever be playing catch up until Liverpool do drop points.
Yeah.
So it is in Liverpool's hands. City can only do what they can is to win the games, and they showed that last weekend with a 3-1 win against Arsenal. Aguero getting the hat-trick, looking fantastic as ever. 14 goals on the season so far for him. And Sterling looking good as well, taking advantage of Iwobi and Lichtsteiner on that left-hand side.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. So
sorry.
So it could it could be a good situation for him as well, because Marcos Alonso is not playing very good for Chelsea either.
He's on and off, isn't he though? Because the way I look at Marcos Alonso though, he looks more of a attacker than he does as a defender. I know he's a wing back, but he's been there now and again for the big games when it comes to the free kicks and all that, but he's not a player I'll drop either.
No,
it's a strange one.
It's a different one. It's a difficult one for Chelsea, really, because in terms of their defence, they don't really have a lot of depth in terms of quality. They've got the depth, but it's not quality. Christensen hasn't turned out to be this defender that a lot of people expected. David Luiz has his good games and his bad games. He had a good game at the weekend, getting the clean sheet and the goal. Bad game before that, though, getting yellow cards and whatnot, and the 4-goal conceded against Bournemouth. So, in truth, it depends on what type of Chelsea team turns up on the day. The form away from home hasn't been great at the moment. I think they've struggled to score in the last 3 games away from home, so that definitely needs to change, especially if they still want to have the ambition of finishing in the top 4. They managed to squeeze back into the top 4 the weekend after their win against Huddersfield, but
we weren't. Gonzalo Higuain even had the space to do so, didn't he?
It's a difficult one for City as well, because of their midweek game, and they've got a bunch of midweek games coming up as well because of the Champions League and making room for the League Cup final, of course, at the end of February, start of March. So there's going to be a lot of rotation in this team. What I think we might see, though, and those that have watched this preview most likely after the Everton game, because it will be posted after the Everton game, I imagine City will play a rotated side against Everton, so Aguero probably won't start. We'll probably see Jesus. We'll probably see Sané benched for Mahrez, and further changes in the midfield as well. Potentially even Ben Foden getting a game because of how many games they've got coming up. And no disrespect to Everton, but they're not in the same class as Chelsea right now. So City will be looking to play their strongest players against Chelsea next Sunday, which would mean they'll get a rest in midweek and they'll be entering this game fresh against Chelsea. And it's also a little bit of a preview of the League Cup final itself, because of course Chelsea will be playing against Manchester City.
I mean,
final.
I mean, I don't know what to expect really, because I think, with it being at Wembley, I think anyone could win it that day, because it could be one-sided. But we'll talk more about that in a few weeks when that match does take place.
Looking at the head-to-head records, City and Chelsea, 3 wins for City in the last 6, 3 wins for Chelsea. So it's even Stevens. But 3 of those wins for City have come in the last 4.
Yeah,
and I think most of them have been at home as well, including 1-0 victory against Chelsea last season. And Chelsea were criticised in that game. I don't know if you remember, it was quite heavily criticised, that game.
Yes.
Cesc Fabregas for his coverage, and for Chelsea as a whole for essentially allowing City to play their game as they would against lesser teams in the Premier League. The teams sitting back, allowing City with possession and to break them down gently. And fair game on Conte's part to squeeze out just to get the 1-0 defeat in the end. But for a side like Chelsea that was still looking to compete for a top 4 spot, it was detrimental for them on the end of the season, because they didn't finish in the top 4.
No.
And Chelsea can't have the same approach this season, because otherwise they will finish outside the top 4. So for me, looking at this game, I think Chelsea will struggle, because simply put, they don't have the goal scoring threats that City do in Aguero, Sterling and Sané, that are all pretty much near to or close to double figures on the season. Hazard's the only one that's in double figures on 12. Higuain is starting to make his account, but we need to see consistency from him. And then you look at the other goal scorers that are in the squad, they barely make it into the squad, for begin with. Pedro starts on the bench. He's got 7 goals in the season. Why is he on the bench if he's got that prolific goal scoring record?
He has been rumoured to leave as well in the summer. Yeah. So.
And a person that has left already, was Chelsea's 3rd highest goal scorer, Morata, on 5 goals. So, the goals got to come from somewhere. So consistency is key for Chelsea. Whether or not it results in the win, I don't think so. I think City will probably got this in the bag quite easily. I'm
going to go for City 3-1. Again, just like the Arsenal game. I think Man City have got more ambitions right now, and the squad at the moment, they're scoring on the first minute for fun at the moment, aren't they? And it is becoming that point where, okay, it didn't happen at St James's Park, but when they score a first goal, it really is, okay, so when's the next one coming? And let's get another. That is Man City at the moment.
It is that situation, but also we've seen on the track record in that Newcastle game and in the Arsenal game that City do concede quite quickly after scoring themselves. Yeah. So I think if City are able to approach this game to keep out Higuain and Hazard and to stop that consistency happening for Chelsea, then I think City could currently easily coast through this game and win. But if they allow Chelsea to get themselves going, then I think we could be on for a challenge here between the two sides.
Well, let's hope so.
But I'm going to say I think it's going to be 3-2. I think City should see out and get the win.
Okay. So, well, we're all going for Man City here, but do you disagree? What do you think? Comment on the comment section below your predictions. And remember to smash like and subscribe. There isn't really like, it's like an S. It's like an S. It's down there somewhere.
Hit that bell too. Get those alerts on the videos as well.
He said it. Yeah. And of course, to do that, to follow us and for more of our videos in the future. Thank you for watching.